show is brought to you by the Chiropractic Broadcast Network. Check us out on the web at chiropracticbroadcastnetwork.com. And hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Tuning into Health. This is episode number 179 on Thursday, March 15th. It's almost St. Patty's Day. Oh, yeah, I've got a little green on for you today. So, yeah, we got quite a bit of news. I skipped the last couple days because there were smatterings here and there, and I really want to be loaded for bear when I come on air for you guys, so I decided to hang back a little bit. So what's in the news today? We got repeat C-sections may offer safer option for moms. This is contrasting the story I did last week. Because, one side's got to get one shot, the other side's got to get the other shot. Oh, well. Plaintiff in healthcare law challenge went bankrupt. So, oofta, with unpaid medical bills. So, yeah, she tried to go against Obamacare, and bam. What ended up happening? She went up bankrupt. Prescription painkillers for outpatient surgeries may lead to long-term use. Yeah. Find out why you're vitamin B12 deficient and how to correct it. Farming communities face crisis over nitrate pollution, study says. The Iowa. And a daily walk can reduce the power of the weight-gaining genes. Yeah, I know. We got a lot of stuff. U.S. deaths from gastrointestinal infections doubled over the last 8 years. Can you say Prilosec? I don't know, folks. It seems interesting. And breastfeeding exclusive for 6 months may be unhelpful, and unrealistic. We'll be back right after this. Here we are, everybody. Exciting new day this Thursday, coming up on St. Patty's Day, and I thought I'd wear a little green for you. I'm going to be going down to the Scottish Rite tonight for a little Bistro 519, little Italian get-together with my Scottish Rite friends, and wife is coming, so we're going to have a good time tonight. So I had to look nice, I guess. So anyway. Hey, we got a lot of stuff here, and I don't know where to go from this, but U.S. deaths from gastrointestinal infections doubled over 8 years, says the CDC. In recent years, deaths resulting from common stomach and intestinal illnesses known as gastroenteritis have more than doubled in the United States, as a new report reveals. Infections involving one of two germs in particular, C. difficile and norovirus. Okay, C. difficile, that's going to be, associated with over antibiotic use. And the norovirus, that's something else. I think that's the weakness of the stomach altogether. When you look at the amount of painkillers that we as a society intake, not me, but you folks as a society intake. Hello, leaky gut syndrome. It means your stomach is losing its integrity, and it opens up for viruses. I came across somebody who has been taking the proton pump inhibitors, and they stuck an endoscope down their stomach, and all they found was polyps, huge amounts of polyps, and it was from the proton pump inhibitors. So you got to wonder what that type of stuff does to your body over the long term. And so now we get these deaths from gastrointestinal infections, could that be secondary to medication use? So, yep. So researchers from the CDC, the same people, though, that would hire Bill Bibb, report that between 1999 and 2007, the number of deaths resulting from vomiting and diarrhea characterized the illnesses rose about 7,000 to more than 17,000. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, hey, a daily walk can reduce the power of weight-gaining genes. Body weight, like so many of our individual characteristics, is a combined result of genes we're born with and the way we live our lives. How much of that what we eat and whether we exercise, the question is, how much does one influence the other? In a study reported in the American Heart Association's annual meeting in epidemiology, excuse me, I gotta clear my throat. Yeah, this American Heart Association's annual meeting in San Diego, researchers offer evidence of lifestyle that can actually change effects our genes have on the number on scale. So that's epigenetics that they're talking about. So if you're going out and exercising every day, and if you're eating healthy, your body's going to respond to the environment that you put it in. So, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, this farming communities, crisis over nitrate pollution, study says. People are dying, and we don't know what's going to be next. Sonia Lopez, shown here with her son Leonardo, death, heart problems, she says, years after the family moved to San Leonardo, Cooperative Salinas, California. Nitrate contamination of the groundwater from fertilizer and animal manure is severe and is getting worse from hundreds of thousands of residents in California Central Valley farming communities, according to a new study released Tuesday at the University of California, Davis. And find out why you're vitamin B deficient and how to correct it. Well, this comes from Natural News. It's going to be up at facebook.com/Rohlfsen. If you wouldn't mind, if you push that little Facebook button or that little Twitter button, tell people what you're watching. I'd really, really appreciate it. And if you also want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, that might be easiest for everybody, because I try to get this as much as out as everybody as I possibly can through my different networks and different groups on Facebook. But if you want to just subscribe here on the YouTube channel, you're more than welcome to. I really appreciate that. So awareness of vitamin B12's importance is getting more attention lately. Every cell in our body uses vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 deficiency is more common than previously considered, and low B12 levels mimic many symptoms of other diseases. Most professionals and health practitioners don't consider it a probable cause for their patients' symptoms. Also, the common blood serum test may read high enough, but the reading actually probably includes what is termed an human inactive B12, which does little or nothing for your cells. Although vegetarians and vegans are more prone to B12 deficiency, it occurs among meat eaters as well, except for chlorella. Plant foods are a pure source of the human active B12. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I've got some chlorella on my counter over there. That's why meat and dairy consumers are not exempt from the B12 deficiency. The usual symptoms of fatigue, depression, anxiety, and anemia are overwhelmed by many more physical and neurological manifestations than commonly known, regardless of its estimated 80% of the population is vitamin B12 deficient. And guess what? That's another thing that using proton pump inhibitors like Prilosec and the purple pill and Nexium and all that type of stuff, they're famous for shutting your body's ability to absorb B12. So it's important that you get off of that crap as fast as you possibly can. If you're on it, or if you know somebody's on it, show them this information. Show them this information. It will be posted at facebook.com/Rohlfsen. Prescription painkillers for outpatient surgeries may lead to long-term use. Older adults who receive pain medications after surgery may be at a higher risk of becoming addicted, according to a new study published in the Journal of the Archives of Internal Medicine. Physicians often prescribe opiates, including codeine, oxycodone, after outpatient surgeries. While these drugs are proven effective for temporary pain relief, they also are associated with side effects including sedation, constipation, breathing problems, as well as addiction. Researchers analyzed data from nearly 400,000 Canadian patients ages 66 and older who received an opioid prescription within 7 days of undergoing surgery for a cataract, gallbladder removal, prostate tissue removal, or varicose vein stripping. They found that more than 10% of the patients who received the opioid were identified as long-term opioid users 1 year after surgery. And they were 3.7 times more likely to use non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs on a long-term basis. Not good. Everybody knows here I'm a big fan of Rush Limbaugh, and one of the liberals, they love calling him a drug addict and all this type of stuff. When I see stuff like this, when I see stuff like prescription painkillers for outpatient surgeries may lead to long-term use and addiction, anybody who is addicted to painkillers because their medical doctor prescribed them for them and didn't monitor or didn't pay close enough attention to what was going on, they are total victims. So, yeah, Rush Limbaugh, love him or hate him, he's a victim of the medical industry. I'll tell you that much. Definitely. All righty. Plaintiff healthcare law challenges went bankrupt with unpaid medical bills. Okay. Mary Brown is a 56-year-old Florida woman who owned a small auto repair shop but had no health insurance and became the lead plaintiff challenging President Obama's healthcare law because she was so passionate about the issue. Brown doesn't have insurance. She doesn't want to pay for it, and she doesn't want the government to tell her she has to have it, said Karen Harnard, a lawyer for the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Brown is a plaintiff of the Federation's case, which is the Supreme Court's plan to hear this later this month. But court records reveal that Brown and her husband filed for bankruptcy last fall with $4,500 in unpaid medical bills. Those bills could change Brown's from a symbol of a proud independence into the example of exactly the problem healthcare was intended to address. I don't go along with this. I don't go along with this because I tell you what, if she's fighting this with the lawyer bills and all that type of stuff, that's another thing. It's not just medical bills. She filed the lawsuit because of the medical bills and whatnot. She doesn't want to have to be constrained to paying for something that she doesn't want to if she doesn't need. But it was the lawyer bills that ended up bringing her down compared to the unpaid medical bills. So, and then business. So if your business isn't doing well, there's no way that you can afford to pay for health care. I don't know. Repeat C-sections may offer a safer option for moms and babies. Now, this is contrast to a story I put out there about a week or two ago. Says for women who delivered their first baby cesarean section, delivering the second baby also C-section may be somewhat safer for both mom and baby than vaginal birth, a new study reveals. Now, this is research done from Australia, and we talked about that just a couple weeks ago. You won't find it very far down on my Facebook page. I'll try to find it and bring it up again and share it again. But I'll contrast these two stories because it's like it's a tit for tat. If one comes out against, well, then a couple weeks later there'll be a story that comes out pro, and tit for tat. And so what do you do? Who do you believe? You got to look at both sides of the story to make an informed choice. But there's a lot of people that don't want you to make an informed choice. They just want you to do what they want you to do. Doctors prove this test can give healthy people cancer. What is that test, do you think? The Nordic Cochrane Center has put out a leaflet that every woman should read explaining the potential benefits and potential harms of mammography. They point out the recent studies suggest that mammography, a screening, is not effective in reducing the risk of dying of breast cancer. In fact, the screening creates breast cancer patients out of healthy women who would have never developed the symptoms. Treatment of these healthy women increases with their risk of dying from heart disease and, yes, cancer itself. So that's coming from Mercola.com. And it's out there. What is this? Well, you know what? I think we can just skip over to this. 1809. Visit 1809 Design, and my friend Cinnamon Rost will help design your business logos, your business cards, whatever promotional event that you have going on for your business. Doesn't matter where you are in the country, 1809 Design can help you, well, stay on top of your image. Attention small business owners. Are your marketing materials looking stale? Does the expense of hiring an advertising company just make you cringe? Let Cinnamon Rost with 1809 Design discover your company's unique personality and help you find a design that fits your business and attracts your customers. Working one-on-one with a professional designer means you'll receive a quality finished product quicker and for a lower price. From logos to business cards and flyers to banners, 1809 Design looks forward to helping you with your next marketing endeavor. Visit 1809design.com or call 515-989-1809 today.
We love our chiropractor, and I've got 3 great reasons why. First, there are no appointments, which is great for my busy life. Second, we don't waste a lot of time sitting in a waiting room. Dr. Chad actually respects our time and schedule. Third, we get unlimited care at a low fixed monthly fee. That's right, my family's care is based on our needs, not the insurance company's ability to pay. You can love your chiropractor too, and your first adjustment at the Spinal Tuning Center is free. The Spinal Tuning Center is conveniently located on Merle Hay Road, right off Interstate 80. Find out more at spinaltuning.com or call 727-4000.
And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad. And we're back. We are back. Okay, here we go. Advice to breastfeed exclusively for 6 months may be unhelpful and too idealistic. What do you think about that, folks? Well, I don't know. I don't believe that at all. I think every child should be breastfeed for a year if you want full protection. Well, not even, actually more than a year. Do you know the average age for breastfeeding, for weaning off of breastfeeding in the world today is at 4 years? I know, that seems a little weird. But if you could commit to at least doing 1 year, and with breast pumping technology as what it is today, that's possible. That's possible. It can be done. It can be done. So, and healthcare laws and whatnot like that make it possible for a mother to continue to breastfeed and have that privacy to breastfeed and pump if they need to. So, but they say it's unhelpful and it's too idealistic, and I don't think that's right at all. So, it's best for the baby. What's best for the baby? At least a full year of breastfeeding. And we do exclusively 10 months of breastfeeding. People say, oh, you'll starve your baby. Oh, no, you haven't seen my babies. All 5 of our babies have been plump and fat, and they only had breast milk for the first 10 months of life. So I tell you what, that's a kind of a misnomer and something that, Anyway. Hey, what do you think? Do you think there's a cure for cancer? Well, evidently there is, but, you'll never know about it if the big pharma has its way. Have you ever heard of Brzezinski, the Brzezinski cure for cancer? Evidently it's this lone guy. I guess he's from the Eastern Bloc country in Poland, I guess. And what ended up happening is he found a cure for cancer and has cured many people. And the federal government, of course, because he's not a big conglomerate, came down on him hard. So there's a little video I'd like to show you about this. And I won't show you everything, but you can get a good gist of it because it's 23 minutes long, but I'll show you the first couple minutes.
We're talking with Dr. Stanislav Brzezinski, who is an MD and a PhD, has done some experimental work in the area of cancer, and has come up with some very interesting studies, which have been backed up by about 4.5 years.
Back in 1982, folks.
We've had 2 patients who appear to be in differing states of remission. Now, we started to talk a little bit about the medical community's acceptance of all this. How is your research funded?
Initially, my research was funded from National Cancer Institute and from Baylor College of Medicine. After I decided to open my laboratory, the only funds available for me were loans from the banks, patients' fees, and payments from the insurance companies.
Could you stand for just a minute, Dr. Gardner? This is Dr. Harold Gardner. Now, is there anything about this that you find controversial? I mean, his treatment, does it have a good scientific background hypothesis and really controlled studies behind it?
Yes, as the science of investigation goes, Dr. Brzezinski's studies have been quite professional, certainly as creditable as most at Wayne State and the University of Michigan and others, which I'm tied to directly. The controversy is less in his approach on a therapy basis than it is his approach organizationally. And much of the medical and hospital industry operates as a very closed shop. And if you have ideas that might in one way or another jeopardize that economic base, you fall into disfavor very quickly.
That is an incredible statement that you've just made.
And I've been involved.
And that was made back in 1982, folks. Just a reminder, I'm just saying.
In Canada. And those options are not available in this country because of economic and organizational reasons, not because of scientific reasons.
Thank you.
When you look at what is going on and how Dr. Brzezinski is being handled, it is clearly a function of, anytime you have big business, big government, big labor, big pharma, big cancer industry, whatever, they become so wrapped up in protecting the institution, whatever it is, that they forget what their fundamental job is. And what's happened with big pharma and big cancer is they kind of, they've forgotten to be curious about that there might be other opportunities and options out there, and they're focused on protecting their turf.
Isn't part of your problem that the treatment of cancer is a very profitable industry for a lot of companies, and that your treatment right now will eat into those companies' profits?
Bingo.
They'll do anything.
I think that there are the people who give the chemotherapy and people like that, and the drug companies would have a very good reason for not helping you out.
I would disagree with that from the standpoint that, as Dr. Brzezinski's pointed out himself, the patients he's treating are patients who are not currently eligible for chemotherapy or radiation. If we were to find a new drug that had a high cure rate of cancer, it would give us the opportunity to treat many patients in whom we don't have potentially effective therapies now.
You just don't have a doctor getting a drug approved. You need a pharmaceutical company behind it because it's just too expensive. If Brzezinski does it, he'll be the only guy ever to have done it in the history of the FDA since the Kefauver amendments. From their point of view, basically you have to be a big drug company to get drugs approved. The FDA has serious problems.
Oh, wow. Some intrigue and drama. I tell you what, I'll have that posted on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You're more than welcome to check it out. But it's big business. Sickness is big business. They don't make any money off of you if you're healthy, folks. So, or if you're having a healthy lifestyle, to tell you what. They'll blame you for not having a healthy lifestyle as your cause for your sickness or disease, and because it's always the cause. But if they, actually living that way is a little different story. Hey, the numbers of suspected measles cases exceeded 5,000. Where is this? And yet there was no deaths from it, huh? According to a press release in the Ukrainian Health Ministry, a total of 5,127 cases of measles have been reported in Ukraine since the beginning of 2012, including 162 over the last 24 hours. And this was, this is March 13th, 2012. And you know what? I bet they won't find any deaths from there unless the child is immunocompromised, meaning they have health problems already, and the immunocompromisation will do them under. But that's a mild self-limiting disease, and those children's immune systems will be robust because of their fight. So, hey, did you know that online the liberals are far less tolerant than normal people? Do I dare go into these waters, folks? Well, not exactly shocking news for those exposed from the years, but and not shopping for me too. I mean, I've had friends for 40 years that evidently, because I'm a conservative and I post stuff on my wall, they can't hack it. They really can't hack it. So this research comes from the Pew Research Center, and it has been determined that the political liberals are far less tolerant of opposing views than regular Americans. In a new study, the Pew Center of the Internet and American Life Project confirmed that what was most intelligent Americans had been long sensed. That is, whenever they are challenged or confronted on a hollow falsity of their orthodoxy, such as, say, United Diverse Americans, liberals tend to respond defensively with anger and even trying to shut off or silence critics. But the new research has found that instead of engaging in civil discourse or debate, fully 16% of liberals admitted to blocking, unfriending, or overtly hiding someone on their social networking site because of a person expressed views they disagree with. That's double the percentage of conservatives and more than twice the percentage of the political moderates who behaved like that. The portion jumps even higher when somebody on a social site disagrees with a liberal's post. Only 1% of moderates would block or shut. Only 1% of moderates would block or shut down someone who dared to disagree with them, compared to 11% of liberals, whose rates were nearly 3 times that of conservatives. Oh my goodness! I tell you what, I've learned my lesson. I like people, and I don't care if they are liberal. I don't care if they're conservative. I don't care if they're moderate. People are people, and I think they have other merits that they need to be judged by rather than their political affiliation. However, there'll be a time or two when I don't like contradiction, and when I see contradiction, I point it out. Well, don't ever point out a contradiction to a liberal. Every time I've ever done it, it ends up in a name-calling fest, not me calling the names. It ends up in somebody else calling me names because they don't agree with me, and they can't argue against me, so then calling names is the natural defense. So, hey, 5 things you need to know about high fructose corn syrup. It's not corn sugar. Sorry, name, but the name corn sugar has already been taken. The new name for substance that many consumers have put their list of ingredients to avoid naturally belongs to totally different products recognized by the FDA. So the new corn sugar ads are bogus. It's not natural. Despite all CRA's pretty pictures of corn fresh fields, high fructose corn syrup is decidedly not a natural ingredient. And that will come. Gosh, yeah, I've got plenty of articles on that. I'm trying to find the. Okay, never mind. But that will be up on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen. So, and guess what? The FDA admits mercury in cosmetics is extremely toxic. So this comes from naturalnews.com. U.S. Food and Drug Administration has issued an update warning about skincare products that may contain mercury, including anti-aging, smoothing, skin lengthening, and beauty lotions and creams sold at ethnic beauty shops and online. And some of the tainted personal care products, just of what is imported, have been found to contain mercury levels far higher than acceptable limits, including one product that's reportedly contained 131,000 times the acceptable limit of mercury. But injecting it into your veins and blood is just fine. Anyway, here we go. Well, I tell you what, folks, I don't know what you have for St. Patty's Day, what you got planned, but what do I've got planned? What is that, Saturday? Gosh, what is going on this Saturday? Nothing. I'm staying home with the kids, which is probably a good thing. Because that's coming up on Saturday, right? Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you on the flip side next week. Bye-bye.